I was so set on going to either Georgetown, Duke, or Wake Forest. My test scores were good. I had everything in my resume to set me up to go to these schools. I visited all of them, had the connections, was so ready to go. At this time, I did have a really strong relationship with the Lord, and I was like, God, these are all the things I want, but I want more than anything what you want. And so I asked him to close the wrong doors. I found that sometimes that's not an easier prayer to pray, but it's more effective because I had so many doors that were open. I needed him to close the wrong ones. So it's Mother's Day, and I decide that I am going to, rather than stay at home like I was planning on doing to study for my SAT subject test, which Georgetown needed, the other schools did not. All my other test scores were in and were good. I just needed one last SAT subject test to get into Georgetown, which again, I thought was my main school I wanted to go to. I was planning on skipping Mother's Day, and we were driving 2 hours away to see my Nana, and I was gonna stay home and study for this test that was the next day. I started thinking about it. I was like, why am I staying home? My mom and my Nana are more important than this. I'm gonna drive 2 hours and surprise them for Mother's Day. So I did. And then on the drive back, because I was so exhausted, I did have a sleeping disorder at the time, I fell asleep on the interstate going 80 miles an hour. Thankfully, I did hit the guardrail instead of going into oncoming traffic, but I did get a horrible concussion. I was flown up, ironically, to DC, got brain scans and everything, and they were like,